I was able to get Duza to send me another VOD review. I did a platinum Moira VOD review a couple days ago, and I wanted to do another one because there was a lever in the middle of the game, and I thought maybe it wasn't a correct representation of the gameplay. In the previous VOD review, I felt like some things he needed to work on were some ultimates, fading, but I think he did a good job of balancing his healing and his damage. And I just want to kind of see how this game goes as well too. I think this is a better lineup. So to kind of start off, this is Route 66. He has an Orisa and a Diva, a much better combination as a main tank. Route 66 has more of an open area from the standpoint of Moira may struggle a little bit to get value out of because it's such a spread out map. Sometimes like Baptiste and Anna can get more value out of it, but in lower ranked games, people have a tendency to maybe not take advantage of high ground and all that. So we'll see kind of how this game plays out. I'm about to fire up this game, but again, I have Orisa Diva. If they play close together, you should be able to get a lot of healing out there. I'm going to be paying more attention to the orbs, because now with more open up space, it depends on where you throw it. If it goes out in the middle of nowhere, you may not get a lot of value for it. And then you have a Symmetra and Hanzo. Your Symmetra should also be playing with the front line, so you should also be able to heal her a little bit more often. The Hanzo's going to try and play a little bit of high ground. Hopefully the Lucio is kind of bouncing back and forth, paying attention to him. But we'll kind of see how this thing plays out.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Throw out a damage orb to start to get a little bit of ult charge. Like it. Playing safe behind cover. It's a good start. Trying to pay attention to high ground. I like checking the angles to see where everyone is. Healing orb is fine there. Trying to avoid splash damage. Yeah, and then you got Dovan. That's going to be an interesting adjustment to see how you play through that, because you have a Tracer behind you and you have you end up having a Winston diving on you. I'm curious to see how your team plays up to kind of protect you a little bit here. Good kill there with the damage orb. Great combination with the damage here. Getting your Hanzo back up. Team's playing a little bit staggered there. I do like the aggression here. Making a play, trying to get rid of the Junkrat on the high ground. It's good to get rid of that player. Just real quick for you support players in lower rank, there is always a balance of trying to make sure that you make a play to kill someone, and then also finding a way to get back to your team. So it was good that he transitioned, got rid of that Junkrat to start, because if he just would have stayed on top, would have kept pounding his teammates, that would have been a problem for sure. So the good thing is he took him out. Trying to see what his team is doing. Not quite sure where the change right there. And I'd like to have seen a healing orb with you having your support player lower. Good protection right there. Keep his team alive inside the ground. That was a really good coalescence right there. Keeping damage up, trying to clean up. Yeah, your Hanzo's going to be difficult to heal. Again, this is the limitation of Moira, right? It takes a lot. Your Lucio should be helping out the Hanzo more. get rid of their main healer always if you can. You can be really aggressive here. A lot of ultimates. Didn't really need healing out there, but I would have liked to have seen damage or trying to fade in and take damage. Heal yourself up. That's really good. Oh no, don't go. Yeah. Look, you need to try to stay alive. I understand you're trying to make a play there, but don't face up. There's a bigger difference with you going after the Junkrat in open territory on high ground because it's harder for him to land shots, but don't face up on him. One-on-one in close quarters, you're going to get it destroyed. Good use of fade there. I like the attempt to want to help your Hanzo out. You got the kill anyways. I know you were trying to get rid of the Pharah there. Okay, this is where I think your poor ult usage comes in. You had already lost 3 people. You were not going to win that fight. You'd rather have that ultimate going into this next fight. I understand Moira's ultimate isn't incredibly strong, but it's way more powerful than any other cooldown. And you would rather have it for this fight than going into it at 10%. Some ult charge there. Nothing wrong with that. Do a really good job of paying attention to not only the front line but also the back line. Your transition moves. Should have tried to. I didn't pay attention there if you had fade, but you should have tried to fade out with that Q. Wow. Fade out there. Try to finish Pharah. It's pretty good right there. Your fades seem to be much better on this. I wonder if the other game was just really not good game to review. I wonder if you had orb on that one. Go back. I'm not quite sure if ulting right there was the right idea either, because you didn't really get anyone killed. You focused a tank that had full health. I think your ultimate usage definitely is. It's very spotty. You don't seem to get great value out of it. You've had 2 out of your 3 have been pretty much a waste right now. Maybe you were changing a setting or something. Again, I like that you try and pay attention to your DPS in the background. Your Lucio should be taking care of that a little bit more, but this is probably a gold level type game, even though you're platinum. And I like that you're trying to keep the Lucio up as well too. Playing safe back here, which is smart. Don't understand that fade, but I like that damage orb out. There we go. Perfect. Well, that was a really good ultimate there. Got good value out of it. You guys are getting kind of ran over here, but
There was a flaw.
Yeah, there's not much you can do. I don't know why you didn't throw healing out there to keep yourself alive on it. That was actually a really poor usage of your orb. If you're trying to hold as long as you can on point, you should throw a healing orb out there so anyone who's out there can stay alive as much as possible to stall. But definitely, your ultimate usage, I'd like to kind of see a little bit more of this, of course, but the choice on the second one, where really the fight was already lost, you should have just won up on cart and died on cart there. And then the third one is to kind of solo ult without having an orb. I don't know if an orb was ready or not, but you didn't use one. The solo ult Winston, I'm not quite sure why that was done. But then the fourth one, you're able to get 2 really good kills on it. So it's like, it can be very effective depending on what you're focused on and what you get value on. You would be better off of holding the second one for that fight, for that next fight and that next point. Because then when you had it later, it didn't really do you much good anyways. But I definitely will say that your strengths for sure are being able to switch between damage and healing. I also like the awareness more on this one. The other game was a little bit harder to see, but it was trying to be able to heal the Hanzo is good. This is where I like to say Moira does definitely have a limitation, is she's only got so much range. On a map like this, it can be a little bit more difficult. Maybe we're taking a pee break to start this attack. Lucky you didn't get punished there from the hook, but you're able to fade out, which was a good use of it. This is a lost fight. Try to get some ult charge, that's fine. Just trying to group back up. I like the aggression in the Ashe to try to get her out of the air. You guys are really getting punished on this front line. Kind of a wasted ult there. Good fade out. Good awareness of the ultimate. Don't. I guess that one was okay. Solo got the echo. I guess that's fine. You guys are definitely winning this fight. Ooh. I didn't. That was not a good D.Va bomb. I'll go into a further explanation on why that D.Va bomb was no good the second time through, but that was pointless. You guys already had that fight won. Hopefully that... I know this isn't a D.Va VOD review, but hopefully they're probably going to group up and you're probably going to struggle here. That D.Va bomb will be nice now. Man, your team's playing really split. You probably should have had a little bit more awareness where you probably should have tried to play a little bit more with the wrist on the high ground. That's kind of a tough position for you to be in. Again, why the limitation of Moira on a map such as this? This fight's kind of lost. Probably should be getting out of there. Oh, especially with the result going on. Being kind of aggressive here. That wasn't good positioning. You should have been waiting for your team to kind of group up a little bit. I know you got that one kill, which was good going into that fight, but especially when the Orisa dropped her ultimate. Now they're going to have no main healer. This is probably one of the biggest mistakes I think you've made from a positioning aggression standpoint. That was just bad. You always make mistakes in a game, so I'm not going to belabor that point too much. But that was just poor decision making. Still just didn't see much value out of that ultimate. You guys used a lot of ultimates there. I guess you guys have to take this point, so it's okay, but... Good thing you guys took that point. And you got up to 58% ultimate turns. That's fine. Again, I still think your ultimates are very kind of weak at best. Yeah, be careful of the Roadhog hook. I like that you kind of got out of that situation, played it safer. I actually really like this aggression. Trying to get him out of position. Honestly, that's fine. You guys actually have spawn advantage here. I really do like that aggression there.
There was a flaw in my
It just, he had a Sigma who bounced his balls off the... Pretty much bounced them right off your chin, but it's when I go back through the kind of the full review breakdown of each individual play, I actually really do like it. I should have thrown an orb out. The ultimate actually wasn't that bad. I don't know why you didn't throw orb out there. Maybe you didn't have up the cooldown. You should have been a little more patient. But that was a good one to cap the point, pressure him. Could have maybe faded to the Hanzo to get to him to heal him faster, to keep him alive for that fight, but semantics. You got ice block out, which is good. It's good to get the cooldown out.
regenerating your cellular structure.
I like this. Throw an orb at him if you get a chance. Didn't even need to. That's a good support play right there. As a tank player, normally when I play. That's a bit aggressive against the Sigma. Are you gonna get... How did you not get punished for that? Oh my god. Like the damage got everyone through too. I like that you're trying to find a tracer here. Oh, watch the hook. Use fade to get out. That was good. Yeah, you're done here. Good use of fade. That was a good beat by your Lucio. That was a real good beat. Just getting aggressive. I like this. Probably shouldn't focus on a road hug so much. It's not going to outplay him. Again, you didn't get punished for it, but if you want to rank up, you should have gotten out of that fight a little bit earlier. You just got lucky that their road hug sucks. man, for you lower ranked players, that whole, I would just say for the most part, that entire back end of that attack was just really well done. I like the aggression. It was good. Your fades were actually pretty good as well too. There was the one that was aggressive that was against the Sigma. Like, I would, when you do get in a position of going 1v1 against like any type of tank, you got to be really careful. You kind of got yourself in potentially some bad situations twice on that attack. And again, this goes to next level play of trying to get the platinum. Like, I don't think a platinum Roadhog, or not platinum, I should say diamond Roadhog, diamond Sigma would let you get out. You'd get rocked, hooked, headshotted. Like, you're just getting away with this because the players aren't as good. So try not to be that aggressive against tanks. But I like the overall thought process of the aggression that you had there. You really helped break it open for the team. Again, there's a fine line of being aggressive as a support player and making plays and then just abandoning your team just to be like a damage Moira. Plus that third point's really good for Moira, really close quarters. I wouldn't keep doing this. You need to get back to your team. Okay, you're able to use Fade to get out of it. That was a good use of Fade. I like the attempt. I like that you got out and didn't press the issue. Someone needs to get that silver. I guess they lose. That's a tough fight. Again. So it's good to have an understanding of the players that you're playing against. Don't use your ultimate here. Don't use your ultimate here. This, honestly, I would have assumed you were going to use your ultimate here. I like that. See, what I don't get is why hold it here? You have the tendency to seem to want to do it on cooldown. And then you held it here, which is great because there was no need to use it. So I like the discipline. And I like it here too. Oh yeah. Going a little too far, but you got it. Okay, probably the best ultimate I've seen you use so far. You're actually trying to create space for your team, trying to get the card as far as possible and get some huge picks. Especially when you get their main healer. You don't necessarily want to trade, but you got one kill and you got their main healer. That was huge. I like the good ultimate, but Lucio's had a couple good ultimates there. I like the focus on their main healer. Switch right back, get your team back up. Fade out to get away from the Reaper's damage. Holy cow. This has got to be demoralizing for the defending team. I'm kind of just enjoying watching this game. Switching back and forth. Using damage to try to get the Reaper, but staying in safe behind your tanks. Don't know why you were trying to heal the Bob that much. That was a waste of orb. Pop coalescence. Pop coalescence. Look, you play that true aggressive, but it's actually, in that case, you had your ultimate to bail you out. And now they're fighting you in the back line, letting you just push. Holy cow, you guys push this with 1 minute? Okay, so you made a mistake there. And then, okay, so this is okay in a VOD review. You actually demoralized them so bad that one of their players left. But to be honest, that's such a pussy move. The mere fact that, you know what? If a team is good enough to push the cart all the way with 1 minute, and you don't have the balls to attempt it, and you quit, you deserve to lose this game. So I'm gonna try and speed this up a little bit, because I have a sneaking suspicion you guys are gonna do a full hold here, easily now that they lost a player. So I just actually think, so I'm gonna change up what you need to work on a little bit. So I still think your ultimate usage by far is one of your biggest weaknesses. I would say 50% of them were just kind of a pointless waste, and you weren't able to get value for them, not much at all. I think your fades were much better this time around. The one thing is at times your positioning slash target priority. Yeah, there's really not going to be much to see here, is there?
Somebody can't beat the healing.
Yeah. So, and then the other things the things that I think you're doing really well, I really do think that the switch between damage and healing. I very rarely see you run out of healing, which means you're really figuring out that balance really well. When to be aggressive. And then also, I'm going to add another one in here. I think your positioning is good too. Like, this is a tough map to have good positioning. But I feel like you know when you're supposed to be ducking behind, when you know that you're in a bad spot. But then also, like, knowing when you want to go out to be aggressive. But then also, there was this point where when you were aggressive, you also understood to try to find a way to get out of there. Because I think what people, when they say aggressive, is like be aggressive and they just go on an attack and a major flank and never come back to their team, to find ways to get back to your team. So it's kind of funny, I say what to work on from positioning. Target priority, as I think you had a tendency to kind of like overextending, go after tanks, which is not really the best thing to do. You put yourself in bad spots, but then when you were kind of in mid-fight scenarios, staying behind cover, your positioning was really good. So like, it's kind of a weird mixture of the two. And maybe the wording is incorrect in terms of what to work on. Maybe it was more of just like target priority at times. It wasn't necessarily the positioning itself. So, so this is gonna kind of end what I would say is just like the general overall review. If you would like to see the full review, please click on the link below. You can see the full broadcast. I'm actually going to go through a little bit more of some individual some more of the individual breakdowns of kind of play by play. So it's going to be a little bit lengthier. So for those of you who are watching on YouTube, thank you for taking the time to look at this Platinum VOD review, and feel free to click the link below and check out the full review there. Thank you.